Hello, guys. This is Jeff Makes Films. I am currently with Robert Conway, who is the writer, director, producer, and actor in the independent feature Skinwalker. How do you usually prepare for distribution?
The most important thing is to not go into a film blindly. Be realistic about what your budget is. What equipment do you have, or do you have access to, or can you, worst case scenario, rent it at an affordable rate? Think about what is in your wheelhouse. What can you do? What's in your physical geographical location? Perfect example, we live in Arizona, so there's an awful lot of Wild West enthusiasts. We can offer a lot of Wild West production value at an incredibly low cost because we have these amazing background performers who are part of reenactment communities who come out, they volunteer, they bring their horses, weapons, clothing, you name it, and they're great. And we just literally could never do these movies without them. So if you don't live in Arizona, let's say you live back east, maybe you would focus something in a Civil War theme, something where you could, whatever it is, or if you're in England or Ireland, maybe the medieval theme. You think of something where you can incorporate a lot of production value by turning to your local community for help. Which is really
where Game of Thrones comes into play.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it really is. It's just, independent film is community film. It's not studio film in the slightest. But it's a great way if you can get your community behind you, like I've been lucky to. I've done zombie film. I did a zombie movie where we had a bunch of zombie reenactors. I know there's medieval reenactors. World War II, you name it. People are enthusiastic usually about certain, particularly, things like Civil War, medieval times, You can add a lot of production to it. It doesn't have to be, that's one way to do it. In other ways, have a really, really cool, simple script. But I will say for distribution, it's good as an independent to try to say, what can I do that not everybody else is doing? Because there's a million independent films made every year. And I don't know what percentage of them get distribution. I think now with Amazon, I think like everybody can, quote, technically get distribution, but are you getting any money on that? Are you getting any return if you have private investors, if you put up your own money, whatever it is? So the key there, as far as making something that it's a business too. So making something that makes financial sense and gaining a distributor's attention is going to be based on what production value can you bring. Now that can be an amazing monster outfit. If you have that, let's say you have a really cool monster, it's not something that everybody can do, or at least not for cheap. That can help you. A great physical location. Look around you, look at what tools you have at your disposal and put them to use. But again, the best thing I can say, just watch other independent films, see what's out there, and then say, what is missing here? What is in my backyard that I can contribute?
Exactly. Yeah, and funny you say that. I mean, I was visiting the Glendale Public Library for the first time in a long time, looking to rent some Blu-ray DVDs because free rental. And as I was looking around this location, I'm like, you know what? What if they had an office space for this film I'm trying to make? Or what if someone were to just film a park scene or just some sort of scene at the library? I mean, it's the public. I'm sure maybe you need to get a permit or something, but it doesn't hurt to ask. And I mean, pretty much use the resources that are around you, but some people just never think to do that.
No, and don't be afraid of asking, and don't be afraid of hearing no. In a small town, which Arizona's not, Phoenix is a big city, but filmmaking wise, it's a very small town. There's still a bit of a novelty around film. So even a very small independent production, people are still going to think it's fun. They're going to want to help you 9 out of 10 times. That's going to be the case you're going to run into. If you're in Los Angeles or New York, nobody cares at least about independent film. They don't care about Hollywood film. Out here, there's a novelty to it. Definitely. Be surprised how many people will help you. If you need a bar location, maybe the bar down the street, if you need, like you said, an office, the library, people will either do it for free or next to free. I mean, you can really maximize your profit, your production value.
Yeah, and maybe sometimes people just want to have their location in the movie. Like, you're making this, cool, I support you. Let's get this going. Just work with each other's schedules and be respectful of their property.
That's it. You always have to be respectful of the location. I mean, if you're not respectful of the location, you're ruining it for the owner, first and foremost.
Yeah.
You're also ruining it for every filmmaker that comes after you.
Exactly.
So really try to be respectful. Clean up your trash, hike it. If you hiked it in, hike it out. The old camping saying, be respectful, be super respectful of other people's property. I was at a town up on Route 66. I was looking for a location, and they mentioned movies up there, you're liable to get shot because they've had a bunch of productions come through and just trash their community. They shoot a lot of movies up there. It's by Monument Valley or whatever. And they just don't want movie people because their town is not respected and their town is trashed. And it's like, yeah, that's not cool. Just imagine at first people love film, but then if filmmakers aren't respectful of property and people, then, it's going to ruin it for everybody.